Tonight we explode a few myths about elections and natural disasters. Here's the first. I'm told Hurricane Sandy's proof we need a powerful federal government, namely FEMA, which provides emergency management. This just makes sense to people. Big disaster across state lines, who but the feds can help? As the New York Times declared this week, a big storm requires big government. Very few politicians are skeptical about that, so it's a relief to turn to former presidential candidate Ron Paul. Dr. Paul, you say it's a myth that we need FEMA?
I certainly think so, because it causes more harm than good. We've handled floods and disasters for 204 years before we had FEMA. And the states and the volunteers and local communities did quite well. You know, I've taken this position for a long time. It's not just recently. And I've taken it since I was first in office. And I kept getting reelected because people in my district got tired of FEMA. All they had were headaches. They get locked into their insurance, and it's a bureaucracy, and I'd try to help them get through the bureaucracy. But they just come in and take over.
But it's a big problem. It crosses state lines. Don't the feds have to have some role?
No, they don't have to. What we should have is, a real insurance. The problem is the insurance program causes many of the problems, because they say, well, you have to have insurance. The market won't, they won't sell it to you. Well, that's telling you something that is too dangerous. So rich people get insurance subsidized by poor people, and they go and build on beaches, and they have a good time, and their houses get washed away, and the poor people pay to rebuild their houses.
Well, it was interesting that this week, before the storm hit, the president held a press conference not at FEMA's offices, but at the Red Cross. Here's a clip.
The reason we're here is because the Red Cross knows what it's doing when it comes to emergency response.
So what's he saying there? The Red Cross, not FEMA, knows what it's doing? FEMA doesn't? Sounds like he's admitting it.
That was good politics, but unfortunately, on from my experience here in my district, Red Cross and others were inhibited by FEMA. They would come in and stop them. Think about the difference between how the evacuation occurred in New York after 9/11, all the volunteer boats and things, thousands of people never evacuated. And the opposite happened in Katrina, because the FEMA got in and had control. But, this giving up on individuals, helping neighbors and local government doing things, that is a serious problem. And it's one of the reasons why we're totally bankrupt, because all this money that's going to go out here in the next few months because of this storm, there is no money in the bank, and there's no money really in FEMA. Insurance is broke, so they're going to just borrow it and print it and make our problems worse. Take it and centralize the power. The power will be in Washington, in Washington D.C., and it's bureaucratic and it's very inefficient.
Well, thank you, Dr. Paul, and thank you for all you've done to wake people up.
Thank you, John.